What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I feel like it's been quite some time since I put up a video, so today I decided when I woke up that I'm just going to jump on the camera and kind of just bring you throughout my day, do a little sit down, get ready with me, chit chat type of thing, kind of tell you what's been going on, how my weeks have been, because I think it's been about like maybe 3-4 weeks since I think I put up a video, so that's why I look a little crazy right now, because I have no makeup on yet, but we're gonna just kind of talk a little bit. I'm gonna put some makeup on my face and then we're just gonna go on with the day and just see what the day brings us. So, yes, I did go blonde. I think the last video I still had my dark hair and I decided that I wanted to change it up a little bit for the summertime. So I decided to go a little lighter. And by a little, I mean I feel like I went pretty drastic from my dark brown hair to my blonde hair, but I'm obsessed with it. I love this color. It is like perfection. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let's kind of talk about what has been going on. I've had some crazy listings, or like crazy listing, I should say. And I guess I'll kind of just talk to you throughout like what I do for my makeup routine. I'm no makeup guru whatsoever, I just kind of watch videos. I've said this in my past videos before, I kind of just watch other people's videos and that's how I kind of go about coming up with my own routines. So I always just start off with the micellar water. This is just by Beauty 360. I just get it at CVS on a little cotton swab thing. What are these called? Cotton ovals. And just pour some on there. So life has been pretty crazy the past couple of weeks. I closed on, I think it's been 3 deals since my last video. One of them went pretty well. All of them got delayed in closing, so it was pretty hectic trying to get everything figured out. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a lot of stress. And it's funny because a lot of people think that realtors just kind of throw a sign in the front of the yard and house just sells itself, which, you know, some listings are easy. Some of them are very difficult. And then after I washed my face off with that micellar water, I use this Deep Sweep. It's 2% BHA. It's a pore cleaning toner. So I just put this on my face in the morning. Just kind of put it in my hands and just kind of dab it in. And I feel like this has really helped reduce the size of my pores and just kind of make my face, make not the texture, but just more or less like the discoloration. Like I usually get red over here. You can kind of see my nose is a little red, but I'm also just kind of a little sunburnt. So anyways, I had this listing. And this was a lead that came through about a year ago and I've been working with her ever since then, and she was kind of on the fence about selling. She's a single lady and she wanted to move from a single family house to either a smaller home or a condo, but she just had a lot going on, so it took her a while to actually bite the bullet and to actually finally list with me. But I got a call from her when I was in Florida back in March and she said that she's now ready to list her property. So I set up another listing appointment. We've already had a couple of appointments together, but I finally set up the final listing appointment to actually get the property on the market. I'm going to be going in with the Dominique's Cosmetic. This is the Blur Moisture Serum Primer. Just feels so nice on the skin. So we went ahead and we listed her property, and I had a crazy amount of showings, obviously, in this market. Who doesn't have a crazy amount of showings when they list a property? So I showed it on a Wednesday, and then I was going to show it on Saturday. Wednesday I had about 20 something showings, and within that time frame from the Wednesday to the Saturday when I showed it again, I got multiple offers in. And then Saturday I get a call from her daughter telling me that she is in the hospital and that I cannot show her property. Mind you though, I was doing basically an open house. Like I did scheduled appointments, but I also had it set as an open house on MLS. So right off the bat, many people were coming to that showing. This looks a little gross right now, but I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape for some concealer to just kind of cover up the redness under my eyes. So I had to call her daughter, obviously, because I was like, I don't even think it's safe to cancel this right now, because there's going to be people thinking that you still have an open house and they're going to be coming to your house. Even if I canceled it now, this is a couple hours before the open house was even scheduled. So I was like, people are going to be coming to your house, knocking on your door, trying to get in. I'm like, I personally just don't think it's safe to cancel an open house that soon. So I was like, I understand your mom's in the hospital. I was like, is there any way I can speak with her? And she said that her phone was broken and she's not able to get in touch with her. So she, mind you, she also has dogs, and that was like the main reason why she was saying it was going to be very difficult for me to show the property, because her mom usually takes the dogs, and that way they're not there when I'm showing the house. So she agreed to let me still show the property. I tried to get in touch with the mom, my client, which she didn't answer. Her phone went straight to voicemail. I'm going to be spraying myself with the Fine Mist Spray from Dominique's Cosmetics. I like to spray this when I put the concealer on. Even though my beauty blender is a little damp, I just like to spray my face. I feel like it blends better. I went there and I had to put the dogs in the backyard, and all of the showings that came in, I just told them not to open up the sliding glass door in the kitchen, because then the dogs would come in. So there was a lot going on that day. A lot. And I just had to make sure that the dogs weren't getting out of the fence in the back. I'm gonna make sure the cat wasn't trying to run out. It was pretty hectic. But from that Saturday, I already had a discussion with her mom prior to that we were going to meet Monday morning, and that's when we were going to go over all the offers that came in, because I had a deadline on offers for that Sunday at 6 or 7 or something like that. So Monday comes along, or it might have been Sunday. Why am I so dark right now? I just had to move the camera. It was getting really dark. So Sunday comes along, and I get a text from the daughter telling me that her mom was still in the hospital and that we're not going to be able to meet on Sunday. Mind you, at this point, I already have about 15 offers. It was between 15 and 20 offers on the table of people waiting for responses. Very good offers too. And now I always do a net sheet when I go to my listings to kind of show them what they're going to be walking away with. I give them like the best case scenario and the worst case scenario, because obviously in this market everything's going over asking price. So I only quoted her at, say we got $300,000, because we listed it at $269,900. Well, I got offers way over that. So I was like, we need to talk to your mother, because I did not expect these offers to come in that are coming in right now. So I obviously had to let everybody know that unfortunately the seller's in the hospital right now. I'm unable to speak with her. As soon as she's out, we'll be going over the offers and we'll accept one. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. A lot of people are understanding. I had a couple people who were just like going crazy about it because they needed an answer ASAP. Well, fast forward a few weeks and I still did not hear from my client. I'm going in with the Tinted Hydrator Tarte. This is, actually I just got this the other day and I absolutely love it. This is a light medium beige. It's just like a tinted moisturizer, but I feel like it has pretty good coverage. I don't really need a lot of coverage, especially in the summertime, because I don't want to feel like I have a pound of makeup on my face. I just want something to kind of just even out my skin tone and just look natural. And I've been using this and I absolutely love it. So I just put it on. I have this Tarte brush. I just put it on here and put it on my face. So yeah, a couple weeks go by and I still have not heard from my client, and now I start freaking out because I'm like, is she okay? Like her phone's going straight to voicemail. I'm like, I can't get in touch with her. The daughter really wasn't giving me much information, and I understand, you know, it's the daughter wasn't my client, so to her I'm just a stranger, so why would she tell me about her mother's personal stuff, you know what I mean? So I totally understood that, and I didn't want to push, but I also wanted to let her know that, you know, we listed her property. She can't just fall off the face of the earth, like what's going on? So about 4 weeks go by, and every day I call my client, go straight to voicemail, keeping up with all the other agents, letting them know that, you know, I still haven't heard anything. I apologize for the inconvenience, blah, blah, blah. I think it was about 4 weeks. It was like a Friday. I decided to call her, and her phone rang. And that was the first time her phone actually rang. Every other time, her phone went straight to voicemail. So I was like, okay, this is a really good sign. Like, she must be home now. You know, she has her phone on her now. We're able to talk. I need to know what's going on. And I'm just hoping that she was like okay this entire time. And so finally, when that phone rang, she didn't answer the phone, which I'm like, of course not. So I was about to send her over a text message, and in the process of me sending that text, she called me back. And I'm like, hi, what is going on? And long story short, she really didn't tell me, you know, much of what happened. She just said that she was in the hospital, and you know, it's her personal matters. I don't want to get into it, and I don't really have the right to know. You know, as long as she's okay, that's all that really mattered to me. So said she's okay, everything is good, and she's still ready to keep on selling. So I reached out to all of the agents. I was keeping in touch with the had offers on the table who didn't take offers off. Even people that did take offers off, I did just reach out to them to let them know that I'm now in touch with my client and we are ready to accept an offer. We're going to be meeting up the following day. So she obviously was very ecstatic over all the offers that I went over with her. And now I'm going in to my eyebrows with the Anastasia brow dip. This is in Ebony. So we finally went ahead and accepted a very, very, very good offer. Didn't waive inspections. They put a cap on inspections. So typically a lot of people have been waiving inspections, but this person just put a cap saying that if everything exceeds over 15,000, then they'll ask for stuff, which in the end they did ask for a couple of things. No big deal though. They offered $10,000 over appraised value. So whatever the appraisal comes in at, they would offer $10,000 over that, which I thought was a very, very good offer because God forbid the appraisal came in short, which it did. So, not only did I have to go through that whole craziness of her not answering me for 4 weeks, we also had the issues with the appraisal. The appraisal came in, I mean, I look crazy right now, just trust the process. The appraisal came in at $49,000 short. Now this was the first appraisal issue I have ever had. Typically all my appraisals have been coming in at purchase price, if not more. And of course, this one decided to come in a lot lower. Oh, and mind you, I forgot to mention this. And then why do I keep getting so dark? So when she went MIA for about, can you focus please? So when she went MIA for about 4 weeks, she was also under contract for a condo. So she actually got under contract prior to selling her property, even though it was contingent on her selling that property. And she's a cash buyer, so she was taking the proceeds from her sale to put towards this condo. And we had a time frame in order to do that. So since I wasn't able to get her under contract within that time frame because of the disconnect for the 4 weeks, she lost out on that condo, obviously. We were able to get her deposit back just because it was contingent on her selling her property. She wasn't able to sell her property due to obvious reasons. So we were actually able to get her deposit back. And then right after I accepted an offer, we actually went under contract for another condo in the same development, which was pretty awesome, but it was more money than the original condo because now we knew we were getting a lot more money for the property. Well, with the appraisal coming in short, she was also very short on funds to purchase this property. So I was stressing to the max because now I'm like, now what do we do? So that was my first time that I ever had to rebuttal an appraisal. I've never had a rebuttal on an appraisal before, but thankfully I have appraisers in my family who are able to help me. My brother-in-law and my father-in-law, they're both appraisers. So I was able to kind of take their knowledge. Sorry, I need to like concentrate. Let me come back after I do my eyebrows. Okay, we are back and my eyebrows are on. They take me the longest and I'm still not good at them. Oh, and then I went in with the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit to set the brows. And now I'm going in with CoverGirl, the clean press powder, or just to kind of set the under eye and a little bit around the face. So long story short, we were able to get the appraisal up $19,000, and with the additional $10,000 that the buyer was willing to give on top of the appraised value, we got up for a total of $29,000. and that was much better for my client because she did have some money aside to put towards this condo, but not a whole lot of money besides from her proceeds. So she did actually still have to bring money to the closing, but it wasn't as much as if obviously we were $30,000 under. So it was stressful to say the least, because I was nervous at this point that I was just gonna lose out on 2 deals. And that's just kind of how real estate is. It's not, even though when you get a contract or you get a property under contract, it's not all smooth sailing from there. It's not guaranteed money at the end of the day. I was so close to losing these 2 deals, like it was just insane, and it caused me so much stress and anxiety. But that's why you always need to be filling the pipeline, always need to make sure that you have other transactions to fall back on, and you're not always relying on one closing, or in this case 2 closings. So for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty. This is in Island Ting. This is actually a really, really pretty color. As you can tell, I've been using it a lot lately, but it's like perfect because I have kind of like olivey skin toned. So I just feel like this looks really nice on my skin. So it was just really a stressful time. Because like I said, I wasn't sure that these transactions were even going to go through, but we made it work. They also kind of got 2 repairs out of us as well too, one in which my seller wasn't willing to do, and I had a feeling that the buyer was just so fed up that they were willing to walk if we weren't going to do this repair. And it was something to do with HVAC, which my father owns an HVAC company. So I just agreed that I would pay for it and get it done. Because at the end of the day, a few $100s to me, when I'm making money off her and her sale and her purchase, to make both of it go through, I'd much rather spend the few $100s that it was to get it done, to make everybody happy and to make this transaction still stay afloat. And that's what I did. I even went above and beyond and called the moving company for her as well too, scheduled that up for her. And the day of the actual closing, I went there at 8 o'clock in the morning while the movers got there, and I helped her pack the rest of her stuff. And I also took my Jeep so I can pack a lot of the stuff in my Jeep for her. Just because, like I said, she's an older single woman. She needs a lot of help. She needed a lot of guidance in this transaction, financially, mentally. It was just a lot for her to take on. So I made sure that I was there for her every step of the way to make sure that we got her to the finish line with the least amount of stress as possible. But that's why I went there, and I made sure that, you know, everything was taken care of. And I helped pack up things in boxes. I packed up my Jeep. I helped her get the 3 dogs into her car. She followed me over to the new condo. I helped her unpack a little bit, and then I went back to her house because it was a little messy, obviously, with the movers going in and out, with the doors open all day long. And you know, obviously when you move beds and couches and stuff, there's just like a lot of dust that you don't know about that's over there. And I wanted it to look pretty decent for the new buyers coming in. So I went back. I already had my broom in my car. I left myself a vacuum at the property, and I just cleaned up for them for a little bit so they didn't walk into a completely messy house. But that's just kind of like the type of person I am. I know a lot of realtors would just leave it as it is. They wouldn't even go there the day of the closing and just let the seller take care of everything and then get all mad when things aren't going as scheduled. But I just knew that in order for this transaction to get done, I had to have all hands on deck, and that's exactly what I did. And then the closing was at 1 o'clock. I show up at 1 o'clock and my client is not there. So I'm going to be going in with the Dominique's Cosmetic. This is the cream blush. This is in soft pink. I think this is, there's some stuff in it right now for my brush, but it is just like such a pretty color for summertime. And I go as close as to the eye, right on my cheekbone. I don't bring it down lower because then it just kind of drags your face down, and I feel like this just kind of gives you more of an awake look and a more lifted look. So yeah, so I go there at 1 o'clock, which is what we were scheduled for, and she was not there. I call her, no answer. A few minutes go by, call her again, no answer. Text her, no answer. And I'm like, okay, did she forget? What is going on? I'm just like, everything that could possibly just take me for a spin. It's been taking me for a spin on this transaction. So finally she ended up coming to the closing a half hour late. And I was just so nervous that whole time sitting there. I'm like, please God, please show up, please show up. I'm like, is she not gonna show up? Because like I said, it's just, I know how stressful it was for her, and I just had like a feeling she was just gonna, I don't know. I have no idea, I don't know. It's just like thinking about it brings back just stressful memories, to say the least. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face again. And this is a very fine mist, so when it sounds like I'm spraying a lot of it on my face, it's very, very fine. Like, it doesn't feel like anything goes on. I'm gonna use the back of my beauty blender, or I should say fake beauty blender, and just kind of dab everything, make sure there's no harsh lines. So finally she came, she signed. She was actually already moved in before she signed. We actually signed a release of liability, just because of the whole timeline of things. And with the movers and stuff, it was just easier for her to go straight from her house to the condo, from the condo to sign. When she signed back to the condo, it was on lockbox, so I was able to get the key for her when I got there. Once she signed, she went back to the condo, and then I went on with my day. And that's not where it ends, friends. That is not where it ends. I'm gonna go in with that bronzer that I just used from Fenty Beauty and put it into the crease of my eye. Everything goes up to give you that lifted effect. So she went back to the condo, you know, and packed, and then I went on with my day. And after that, this was like around like 3 o'clock already. From 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I was out for this closing. Then I went to relax and go have a drink and went to the lake. And then I get a text from the listing agent saying to call the seller. And I'm like, why would I call the seller? I don't understand what's going on here. And then I get a text message from the seller saying, basically flipping out, saying that we are not in fact closed because they refused to give him his check because I guess they didn't have the funds from her sale yet. So the closing attorney refused to give the seller for the condo their proceeds because they didn't receive the funds from my client's sale yet, which she was using those funds in order to purchase the condo, which makes sense. But because they didn't have it yet, they refused to send him the check. So he refused to sign the deed and left, and then texted me basically telling me because he doesn't have his money, he wants my client to vacate the property immediately. And basically was like, I don't know what else to tell you. Get your client out. And I'm like, you have to be kidding me. Like, this is a complete joke, right? I'm like, where is she supposed to go? She has 3 dogs. She's a single older lady. Is she gonna sleep on the streets tonight? Like, I don't understand. I'm like, not for nothing. Like, you signed a release of liability. You know she's already in the property with all of her stuff. What is she supposed to do? And he's basically like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm having my run in there right now to change the locks. And I'm like, but she's in the property. I don't understand. And I'm like, so I texted the agent. I'm like, I don't think I should be talking to your seller right now because I'm livid at this point. I'm like, I have busted my ass to get this transaction to close. And they didn't know the extent of the sale part of things. Obviously, I did not need to tell them any of that. So, you know, to them, this was a very smooth transaction and one little thing, you know, whatever. But to me, there's just like many little things that led up to me just almost exploding. So I had to call the attorney, gotta get everything figured out. Finally, they said that they received the funds and they're willing to release the check over to the seller of the condo. He just needs to come before 5 o'clock, and it was 4:30. And apparently this guy was working and he wasn't able to go. And I'm like, well, not for nothing, that's not my fault that he doesn't have time to go pick up his check. So my seller should not vacate the property. So the listing agent was just like, you know, take a deep breath, relax. We're gonna get this figured out. I'll take care of it. Just let your seller know she is all, let your client know she is all set. I'm like, she better be all set because I am not going there to vacate her. I'm like, I already am a couple drinks deep at this point. So, and there's many more coming my way. So that was that. She was able to stay in the property. I didn't even tell her anything that was going on because I was like, that's just more stress for her. And I don't want her, I just want her to be able to unpack, relax, and go on with her day. And then I'm going in with the Tarte. This is just a palette that I've had for quite some time. Just really pretty neutral colors. I go in with this sand color, and this solstice color and kind of just put it at the top of my brow bone. So yeah, this listing was not a walk in the park, to say the least, and not all of them are going to be. It was just one thing after another, to be honest with you, and you know, we finally made it though. And this, my friends, is why you need to love what you do. And then I've been using this mascara for like the longest time possible, and I haven't found any other ones that I like. This is just a CoverGirl mascara that I've been using. I haven't found any other ones that I like, and this is a drugstore one and it works great. So a lot of people think real estate is easy, but in reality, you know, some transactions are easy. I had one transaction same week that was a breeze and it went very, very smoothly. And then I had this one that was just, it was very difficult from the beginning. And that's just kind of how real estate is. Every transaction is completely different. Situations and just different things come up in every single transaction. No transaction is the same. Ever since I started in this career, I don't think I've had one transaction be the same, and new things pop up all the time. I've never had an appraisal issue before until that property, and I actually just had I have another appraisal issue that I actually have to deal with today as well too, but this time I'm on the buyer side. It's just everything is just more and more things come up. It's challenging, it's fun, as long as you like what you do, but just know that it's not always going to be a walk in the park. And there's so many things that go on in a transaction, but I enjoy it because I like the challenge. I like learning. As time goes on, you get better at what you do. You become more knowledgeable, more experienced. You become more valuable to your customers and your clients, and you know how to handle certain situations for them and kind of help them and guide them through the entire process and get them to that closing table and relieving as much stress and anxiety on their end because you are taking care of the transaction for them. So that is my story. That's kind of what I dealt with for the past couple of weeks. At the end of the day, everything worked out, and that's all that matters. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't really what I expected doing today, but I was gonna do like a full day in the life type of thing, but my story went on for quite some time. But so yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.